Oh. So, we meet again. Welcome back to the brain of Andrey. Andrey Psyche. Hmm. I want to tinker about, or tinker with existence. What is existence? Why is everything happening the way it is? And how we find ourselves in the place that you found yourself to be in a time, you know what I mean? Um, just how you can find yourself in different moments and the meaning behind them. It seems as if when you make a decision in your life to focus on something, and there's many things to focus on, there's an infinity of things to focus on, which is why it can get difficult to narrow down the trajectory that you want to follow as a person, as an individual, as a member of society, as a person who's alive, as a piece of life itself. Uh, to narrow all of those infinite possibilities into one expression of, maybe I should say, desire from our standpoint. Whatever we want to achieve or whatever we think is best, which still, the desire to do best, still maybe our desire that builds the path ahead of us. But it can be tough to narrow it down, and because it can be tough to know or to even see your desires. It's always seems like a fleeting object. During different times of your life, you desire different things or cease to desire depending on your practices. Mm. Desire builds your future, but it's murky because desires change as you change. The things you want to accomplish or not want to accomplish, or the things that you thought you wanted to do but no longer want to do. The possibility to just experience something beyond yourself, experience something that's outside of your realm of belief, maybe even. So there's a few options. You could just let life express itself, expand upon itself, and to use you as its vessel to do what must be done, whatever that may be. Or you can hunker down and see the exact path you want to go down to the millisecond, and stay true to that path, which can require a lot of discipline. Uh, but daily actions build momentum, and before you know it, You can silence the mind into just accepting this new reality, and you find yourself moving through those motions in a different life, different sort of perception of reality, of who you were, of who you are, of the people around you, the relationships you keep, and things change. And now you are doing what you thought you wanted to do, and you're doing it, and now you've done it. It always comes to an end. Everything always comes to an end. So maybe this one lasts for a while. Maybe you can keep yourself satisfied for a long time, which would be amazing. But eventually everything comes to an end, and then you have to do it again. You have to hunker down and decide, what is it that I want? Which direction do I want to take my life into? What are the things I want to experience? And who do I want to become? And maybe those two paths help each other out at times. Nothing is separate from anything else. But I think you decide to do it again. And again, you can either let life decide, which can be very tough and tumultuous, because after you've kind of sat around and done a few different things, and you got yourself into a few different results, and you've tasted a bit of life. You've experienced things, and you run out of ideas. You let life decide, and it feels slightly different than narrowing down and chiseling out the path before you. It's setting down the weight of maybe even decision making, constant decision making about this, that, or the other thing. Surrender that illusion of maybe certainty. Just let it go, and you try to ride what life gives you, and steering that in the best direction you are able to conceive in that moment. And that it's like driving. It's like driving F1, since I've been watching F1 lately on Netflix. The F1 Drive to Survive. I've gotten on season 2 at this point, and looking forward to finishing it one of these days. I'll have some time, so I'll definitely watch it. But it's like driving F1, man. You're taking these fast, crazy turns, and you're swerving, and you're trying to stay within the lanes or lines or whatever they have. Maybe you want to be the best, maybe you don't want to be the best. Maybe you're out there enjoying the ride. Maybe you're just there because you love driving. And that's also nothing wrong with that, or going out there and fucking slaying it and doing the best that you can, and just keeping yourself on the edge of existence by always just being, just leaning over the cliff just a little bit. And that can be exciting and remarkable, euphoric, and again, then that's nothing wrong with that either. Nothing wrong with that either. So then come to term. So then you're riding, you're driving, and you're looking around. You're driving and you're looking around. Where would you want to go? After spending some time in art, abstract art to be specific, and remembering why I got into art in the first place, was the ability to imbue the medium that you're using into the three-dimensional world, into the physical thing, into something that can be palatable. You take it from not necessarily idea, because when you spend too much time in the mind while trying to express yourself, things get rationalized and you can't really be sure of your ability to, I guess, express life itself. So I feel like it's a good mixture of I guess feeling it, feeling the emotion, and using that as the driving force behind, I guess, your decision making and your movements and your breath, your everything, to truly embody whatever emotion it is, while creating something, is to materialize your experience, and to modify or even help direct you in a direction, help direct you into direction that you wish to go, without needing the 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 without needing the mind to rationalize or even conceive of a possible way to achieve whatever the emotion is. Given a little bit of credit to our brains, that can work much better on the subconscious level than the conscious level. The amount of detail and perceivable information that we're bombarded with subconsciously is inconceivable to the small fragment that we are allowed to focus on. So if you can allow a deeper, I guess, allowing a deeper knowledge to guide you rather than the mind, because the mind is one-dimensional in a sense. but feeling and I guess waiting for it to feeling is a ability, or well, understanding your emotions and understanding your I guess intuitions is it's a vast gift to be able to surrender to your body's and your mind's ability to internalize infinite amount of information without the conscious mind needing to perceive every bit of it, to trust yourself that you know much more than you think you do, and to to feel that way. Uh, to create the unpredictable, I guess, to help create the unpredictable, and to find yourself in interesting moments and experiencing a life that you never imagined you could have. And now everything's on the table. And sifting through all that can be a lot of work. And then you feel other things, which then you can capture in a painting. Again, one of my abstract pieces. Then that helps it. I mean, based on, again, your subconscious gathering information, and having an emotion, having a feeling, having a desire to go to a certain direction at a moment's notice, when things might just feel wrong or right, and then that's when you choose to, you double down, or you back off, or it leads to cool places again. Hmm. I remember there was a time um, where I was creating a lot of paintings. I mean, just 12 hours a day, splatter and high glass epoxy and freaking shapes and just a bunch of things while dancing and singing. It was an amazing experience. It was one of the first times I actually opened up and was able to express myself and create a life that I felt like living. Just a birth through an explosion of color. And I remember I'd have paintings and I wasn't selling them. I just had them, and they seemed to just find their owner in a sense. I would make a painting and it means something. So you know, it was from an emotion. It was something deep, something to get out and to help, just exist in this experience to be expressed. And then I'd find that piece just create an experience for me, just in real life. Somebody would see it, or if I had it on me, or if I offered to somebody, and I would unravel a beautiful, just gift, a connection, and it was meaningful, at least to me. However small it was, it was very meaningful. And that kind of allowed me to feel like I had a lot more creative input into my life than I had possible. Hmm. I remember when I was a teacher, uh, substitute teacher, I made a painting, and it was in the back of my car. And what I would like to do is also turn it around and write just a poem that I don't know, completes it, whether it completes the moment, depending, if I'm giving it to somebody and they made me feel a certain way, or a poem that encapsulates the piece itself through my eyes, at least, or through my experience, through my heart, whatever. Um, and I took that piece into work one day. No. It was in the back of my car. I get to work, and there's this lady, and she was a front desk. She was a front desk lady. I check in on the left side, just say like, hey, Mr. Psyche's in the building. So where do you want me to go? And they're like, oh, 323, please. You know, just all that nonsense. And I go on the other side to get my attendance, and she was one of the ladies that worked there. And she was wearing just this vibrant dress, I believe. She was just colorful, color everywhere. And it resembled my painting so much. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're beautiful. Holy moly. So much color. Like, I love this. You're alive. And she was like, yeah. We had a connection after that. But she's like, yep. I used to not feel this way, and then just like one day decided, I was like, what the hell, man? I need to live my life and just experience myself, feel my emotions, and just be myself, and I'm out here making the best out of every single day, and da 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 da. And I was like, dude, I feel that so much. I feel you so much, and because you say that, it's like, dude, like, you remind me of this painting that I have. That you just look like it. Can I bring it to you? Would you like it? Yeah, motherfucker. She didn't say that, but she was enthusiastic about it. And so I ran in my car and I grabbed the painting, and I believe I believe I wrote the poem as I was grabbing it from the back of my car. I think I had a Volvo at that time. It's a Volvo I bought for $1,500 from a auction, and it got me around for a while. I'll tell you what. But I think I pulled it out, and I embodied that moment, and I expressed it through poetry. And I gave it to her. She's like, "This is amazing. This is so beautiful. I love it so much. Thank you." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, cool, cool, cool. And that was a beautiful moment of its own. But weeks go by, working in other schools, working in other schools. I come back, and I go back in there, and she's like, "Andre, I have to tell you, that painting is a fucking piece of magic." I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" "Well, what are you talking about, woman?" And she's like, "Listen, I tutor an autistic child, and he has learning disabilities. He can't concentrate. He can't do his work in school, and it's a problem. And I try to help out." I'm like, "All right, cool, cool, cool." She's like, "Well, I had your painting with me, and then he saw it, and he was just fixated on it. The painting itself just focused him. He could just be manageable. He could collect himself." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, like we read him the words, and he really resonates with it. He's really there. And then he looks at the paintings, and he can actually focus on his homework. And they actually made a photocopy of the painting to put in his classroom, so he could sit and be focused in his classroom. And there's been a lot of improvement in just in a short period of time." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about, woman?" I was like, "Get out of town." I was like, you can't say things like that." She's like, "Yeah, it's amazing. Like, I knew there was a reason we met, and then it was just a moment of just pure light, of pure just beauty expressing itself. It's just to feel like you contributed in something that was unplanned. You can't plan that. You could not ever plan something like that. To be in a place where you express yourself so fully and beautifully, and just without blockages or boundaries, just let it out in all ways that it comes out. And the actions that you took from those moments led to a moment so beautiful where things came together so perfectly, where love was given and magic happened, even for a moment. Feels miraculous. And you stay there and you do that, and it keeps happening. And every moment is beautiful, where you could just breathe in deep breath of fresh air. And count your lucky stars that you're alive. Desires and planning and emotions and embodying them with authenticity and listening to the world around you and being present in the moment, making as best as decisions as you can in those moments to bring about the best result, quote unquote best, the things that you care about, things that you've tend to spend time accumulating within yourself to help you navigate this F1 car, as I mentioned earlier. You can only bring your knowledge with you. You can only bring what you can know, what you can experience, or what you can reproduce. Things become interesting. You start seeing things on a deeper level. You start seeing things like an artist, because every decision you make is a brushstroke in the masterpiece that is your life. Every decision. But there's infinite outcomes, so anything can happen with each decision. Some doors close, others open more. Some become less probable, others more probable. We're nothing but a quantum probability. That's all. So you can focus on the things that you can focus on, the things that you can do to collapse that probability in a favorable direction for you. The more you spend on the idea, on the outcome, and the more steps you take toward that direction, the more solid that reality becomes, and then the only thing that's left is for it to become reality, and then boom, there it is. Look at you. Look at you. It's pretty late, but what are you gonna do? Nice yawn won't hurt nobody. Feels pretty good actually. Well, it feels good to yawn. Uh, so keep on moving, and keep on moving. Hmm. Sometimes it can get overwhelming. Again, whether making decisions or letting life decide, still decisions are being made and responsibility is taken. You have to put it on your shoulders and drive the F1 car, baby. It's up to you. And sometimes it can be a lot of struggle, a lot of weight on your shoulders, just existence in itself, to make it, you have to, these are the problems, the issues, the heavier, the deeper issues, to live ethically, to support your community one way or another, to give something back, to give a positive, to give your life a positive meaning in the give your life a positive meaning in the evolution of life. Give give your support your surroundings. Leave the place better than you found it, kind of thing. You know, and the wrestle with that. You still have to wrestle with that as well. Just how do you do that, and can you do that even, and what factors into existence being the way it is because we want it to be the way that it is, and how much do you fight and how much do you not? What do you accept? What do you change? Interacting with the three-dimensional world, because you do have power. You have a creative license, as we all do, and you can use it on your entire reality. If it's a bad idea, other people might not want to support it, because then it's like, hey, what are you talking about? So, the likelihood becomes much less. But if you have something beautiful, something great, something worth contributing, people will feel that. They will see it, they will understand it, and they will want to, build momentum toward that direction, because, if the idea is solid, the idea is solid. If it comes from just pure love, and it is pure love, it will find its way. It always will. So, how do you act from that place of true love? It's one of the questions. Definitely one of the questions. Hmm. And what does love mean, right? You can you can accept everything as it comes in, and you can find bliss. You know, you could decide not to fight a single battle. You could sit there. You can accept it, see the beauty in it. You know, see how this thing leads to these circumstances, which leads to this outcome, which you know, is a positive thing. So you got something bad leading to something good. At the same time, you could see how something good can lead to something bad. And you can see that there's a perfection. There's the yin, there's the yang. There's the two fish swimming toward each other. Just one's white, one's black, and they keep circling and circling and circling. Hmm. And you can find bliss in that place. You could sit at the center of it, and it's in the eye of the storm, and you can just see the storm and appreciate its beauty, its existence, its you know, its dance. You can appreciate it for what it is. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. It's all perfection. You can spend time there. You definitely can. But you, you still feel like you have to. You keep coming back to feeling like you have to contribute to the physical world, even if it's an illusion, even if it's perfection. It's at its core that everything happens for a reason, and it does. But you can't be simply an observant. You also have to take forms of action to support the vision that you see of the life that you believe in. You know that you are taking stands for the life that you deserve to live. That you feel like you deserve to live. But action has to be taken. And with that, you know, ethics and empathy and um, opportunity. You know, there's so many factors that start coming into play. You know, you have to you're doing your best, hoping for the best, and it might not always end up that way. But you know, everything works out in the end. Everything works out in the end. But either way, you know, however you perceive things is the real. Is the gold, because then you can find yourself in the unfavorable situation and find it to be exactly what you needed to take you to the next level, to your next point of evolution. You know, And then to be in a beautiful moment and to just experience it and appreciate it and see its beauty, to be that beauty. And each one evolves you, and it pushes you into the next direction, wherever that may be. And it's a long ride. I mean, I'm 30 years old. I feel like I've been on this thing for a long time. I'm sure some people would laugh at that, and that is all right. That is all right. But hot damn. And I'm sure it gets better. It does get better. It always gets better. It gets more interesting, more exciting, more emotional. It just always brings more and more and more. It always does. You never think it does, but it does. We always get used to it. Our minds are built to get used to things that are constant, so we're always looking for the next thing. But things get delivered more and more and more. It's like when you go crazy on the Amazon.com. You just buy everything, and every day you get more and more and more boxes. I've only done that a couple of times, but that's all right. That's all right. My latest one was my tattoo studio. All the things I put together, I just went in and just like, boom, let's get all these things. We need all these things, and I got it. And things came for like a week. Every day, just here's a couple boxes. There's a couple boxes. There's a couple more boxes. A lot of boxes kept coming. You keep opening them, and then when you open them, boom, you got a brand new life, brand new experience. Hmm. But just because it gets better, it can also get worse. The weight starts to pile on. Uh, the pain can eat away, can eat you away, can add so much stress and struggle and I mean suffering even. The good is good, the bad is bad. And you can be in the place where you find beauty in it all. You can find acceptance in it all. But you can also find your place where you feel like you have to battle again, right? You have to battle um, I mean those emotions, right? We are conflicted, and that can add pain, that can add suffering to the experience. But no painting is complete without a little bit of black. We need contrast to fill it out. When life is the ultimate masterpiece, you need contrasting moments to bring meaning to the light, to outline the things that are vibrant and moving, and to pop things out and to shape things. Without the black and the dark and the heavy and the pain and the suffering, there can be no immense beauty, sheer perfection, delight for centuries. Mm. But you know, you get that and you get that. You get the light and you get the dark, and you hold them both, and you experience with them. You mean, well, I guess, yeah, we'll experiment. You'll experiment with them as you see fit. You could, like me, write some songs. You have some sadness. You have some weight. You have something burning inside you. Let it out. Write a song. Because then, it takes that emotion, takes that feeling, embodies into something actionable, and then you can do that action to help that feeling, emotion, idea move forward. Because you spend time listening to it, refining it, and, in one way or another. Physically being able to play it or sing it's better, or on the idea itself. You're always refining things, and you're always finding details to make better. That way you feel more control of, of your life. It's kind of, catch-22. Or it's, just walking a tightrope. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You can't do too much of either. You take all the control, it can feel overwhelming. When you take none of the control, it can be blissful and beautiful and transcendent. But that's just the other extreme. And, to be somewhere in between, where you can be in the mix, in the mud, in the trenches, but still operating with the mindset of total acceptance. It's to be able to feel the highs and the lows instead of accepting them, to express them in your ways, to bear the pain, or to express the pain, or to share the pain. To make it real. And to love. To shine and live and breathe and swim and drive. And to do your best. Moderation is always the hardest one. One or the other, pretty easy. You could be a recluse, or you could be super sociable, You could be an alcoholic or a non-drinker. Both very easy. But just be in between. Be in the middle. Not too much, not too little. To walk down that line, to live in a sea of gray, or colors, in gradients, infinite gradients. In a soup, in a abstract soup. It just feels weird, is what it is. It feels weird. And it's great. You know, you're like giving life a review. Yeah, it's all right. You know, I can fix it up a little bit here. You know, maybe like a 3 out of 5. Yeah, if it was an app. But it's just interesting, isn't it? The things that you think you know, you don't know. The things that you don't know become clear, and you're like, wow, what? And anything is possible, and everything is possible, and nothing needs to be done, and everything is done, and nothing is done. And everything is acceptable, but some things are preferable. And the juggling of everything. And the dog and pony show, you know what I mean? The whole dog and pony show, if that's what they call it. I think that's what they call it. Like, things are just done, and you're dancing. And dancing is beautiful. And making love is beautiful. And smelling the rose is beautiful. And a sunset is gorgeous. And being up in the mountain is breathtaking. It can be easy to get lost in both of those places. Is it about time spent? Is that the key to live balanced? Is it to spend a moment in paradise and then step out for a moment and, with paradise in your heart to battle reality? Yeah, I feel like I personally gave up trying to control existence or my life as stringently as I did in the past, and allowed, colors to bleed in, I guess. Just let loose or let go of control and let life happen to you. Instead of living life, let life happen to you. Because what's more perfect than life? And then the universe, then the laws of the universe, the utmost perfection that things that governs the perfection of the existence as we know it, as life as we know it, to trust the underlying fundamental fabric of existence upon which everything is built on. To trust that. And to move along. To keep moving along. The ego's a bitch. He can say things to you. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's talking a little too much. And to give it enough space to not silence yourself, but keep it on a leash, because, if you need to let it off the leash, it's deadly. That's the kind of thing, So just keep it on a leash. It's gonna sit there, obey orders. give it enough room to talk when it needs to talk, and other times it's not necessary. Which can be hard to get to, can be hard to maintain even. But if you're doing things from love and for love, the ego is chill. You don't come around. But it's very peculiar, isn't it? The way I don't know how the way things happen, the way things evolve and expand, and the things that take place and the things that don't, and the things that happen and the things we live through with the things that could have been. To be present and to be ever seeing, the past and the present and the future, and being cognizant of all three while not at all. To bring honor to the depth of your soul with your everyday actions. And, the things that you spend your time on. Getting there and having those be your expressions of your reality, everything you do. Everything becomes your art. Everything becomes your utter expression of life itself. And that can be so easy to forget. Oh, snap. But, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And it's easy to put limitations around certain things and not around other certain things. You might favor pleasure or pleasurable activity as something that you would rather spend more time and focus on. Or something that you get paid a lot of money to do, that you would spend your full focus on, and you can do it to your 100%, that you would cross the T's and dot the I's, and you spit polish that thing, and it is done well. It is done up to your highest standards. And hey, that can be exhausting. That can be exhausting, I'm telling you. But, it's true, though. It is true. To live every moment in pure expression of life itself. To embody your truth. So much that everything that you do, every action that you take, every breath that you breathe is goddamn. Just, what do I want to say? Just right? Oh, it's just, aligned. It's just aligned perfectly with everything else. Hmm. It is a psychedelic experience, that's for sure. A sober psychedelic experience, whatever that may be. Everything aligns. But yeah, it can be a lot of work. And sometimes you need to put boundaries around your energy with the amount of work you are able to put in, you know. And at that point, it's conservation of energy and how intense of how intensely you can commit yourself to certain things or other, and you divvy out the focus or the time around different things, right? And how do you decide those things? Like it's that life between the two extremes. It's how do you manage and focus and give as much as you can while also, not giving too much. It can be easy to give everything away. So how to walk that fine line too. I think in life we start putting a price tag on it, honestly. You start saying, hey, my time is worth this much because I can only do so much now, I can only give so much. I've given so much and now I can only give this much, and I can only give it to people who can actually receive it, because a lot of times we can give so much to people who have no idea how to receive it and have just no idea of how even to create it themselves. And that can be draining on the spirit. But I think we put a price tag. If you want me to show up 100%, this is what it is. If you want me to do it non-stop forever, this is how much that's gonna cost you, man. If you just want to do this, all right, well, we can just hang out and enjoy each other's company. There don't gotta be money involved. It's like, oh, you want me to do this? Well, that's at least $1,000 an hour. Thank you very much. Just because some people want different things out of you. You can uh, invest your energies, in energy with wisely, first of all, and second of all, strategically. You can spend more time doing what you like doing with and less time doing things that are, I guess, maybe just less preferable or more exerting, I guess. Yeah, because you shouldn't be doing things you don't want to do. But it can be a lot of hard work to find out the things that you do want to do. So, I mean, there's a moment in between where there's confusion and unease and angst, even. So, yeah, you're doing something you don't necessarily want to do by going through those emotions, but those emotions are leading you to where you want to go. So, it's worthwhile. All right. Glad we're caught up. um, Strategy and desire. It can feel like it can all go to a place of, what's the word? Hedonism, where all you're doing is focusing on the pleasure, on the pleasant, on the positive, on the bright side, where all you want to do is focus all your energy on staying there and building that and getting a bigger fix, and a bigger dose. And it could be that way sometimes, you know? Like you feel like we're living for nothing but sheer pleasure. And why not, right? Pleasure's good. Pleasure's good. But where's the meaning in that pleasure? Where's the thing that lasts? The things that you can carry with you. In some moments, I mean, a lot of pleasant moments, a lot of magical moments, they will have that. They will give you something. They will give you just treasure, absolute treasure to hold on to cherish, to love, to help grow and evolve. To create bigger and better and more beautiful things. And you can sit there and be satisfied. I mean, just look at this absolute beauty, priceless treasure right in front of you. But to hold on to things and to feel deserving of the magic and the beauty and the treasure that comes your way is the suffering that accompanies it on the other side. Is the doubt and the fear and the uncertainty of everything, and to come to terms with everything every day. Every day. It can get tiresome. And it can be perfect and beautiful and magical. And it can still be a weight. You can be. It is. It's both. It's always both. Always both. You can't have one without the other. You can't have one without the other. Sometimes it can get heavy. Sometimes it can get. Sometimes you just want to put it down. Like, just can I just set this aside for a second, please? Just put it. Let me just put this away on the maybe in this drawer and close it. Forget about it. Yeah, but you can't. You can't. This is an ever. This is a constant thing. So so we distract ourselves. We distract ourselves with alcohol and marijuana, which it's great stuff. We can go harder. Cocaine, and Molly, and sex, and ecstasy, and mushrooms, and running, and exercising, and watching TV, and art, and movie making, and storytelling, and having cats, having dogs, having children, swimming in pools, running around, doing a marathon, doing a triathlon, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and going into space and flying into the abyss, into the darkness, into outer space, and diving deep into the oceans, and skiing and surfing and traveling and falling in love, and more sex and drugs and vacations, and food. How could I forget food and cheeses and chocolate and candy? Look at all that food. And all of that. All of that. But when will it be enough? And when does it become repetitive? And when is it just another thing that's been done before? Feels like there's a constant battle, or it's like a seesaw. No, well, yeah, seesaw definitely, but also like a saw, like a saw, that cuts wood, and it just goes forward and backwards and forward and backwards and forward and backwards and forwards and backwards. And that action is cutting the piece of wood, but you're just going forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, and forwards and backwards. Zzz, 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 zzz. Eventually, the wood will be cut, and what does that mean? Is that your life? Are you dead when the wood is cut, or is that your goal? Your goal has been achieved when the wood is cut, or maybe it's all of it. Maybe we cut different pieces of wood on a daily basis. Zit, 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 zit. And they all add up to one huge piece of wood. That is life, and once you cut through that, it's done, But it just feels like it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I wonder how other people manage it, I mean, I read stuff and I listen to people, and we all have our existential problems sometimes, and we all question reality to a point, but we're all different, and the things that we battle on a day-to-day basis are different as well, and I just wonder, could I be doing a better job? Could I do something different? Could I contribute more in ways, Can I show up more authentically, and more loving? Can I do that? Because at least it's, they're small things, but it's small things you have control over in this moment to lead the trajectory of your life, because you can't go to all the way over there if you're not walking to that direction, right? I mean, if you're walking opposite direction. Sometimes I wish it was easier. Sometimes I think that could be, it could be possible. And other times I think that no, it doesn't get easier. It only gets more complicated, and you get stronger. That could be lonely. But I still believe that it can. Then I find little breaths of air in small magical moments. And it can feel like you're drowning if you're not catching those moments. I'm speaking from present experience. If you don't catch those little moments of beauty, just, I don't know, the stars, or just how cold it is, or you can see your breath, or just suck the nectar of life till it's dry. As much as you can, you'll begin to feel like you're drowning. And it could be, when you are drowning, it could be as simple of a fix as to do the things that make you remember the beauty of life. And I think if we surround ourselves with, good people, I think if we live a good life and we surround ourselves with good people, and you do things that you enjoy, and you try to be as best as you can, while living your life. And I think that makes it easier to an extent. I think it can bring more relief. I think it can be that safety net. We are beings of, or social beings. We are social beings. Community is important. So those connections matter a lot, and they do give meaning to life. When they are a safety net, like I said earlier. Like a safety net. They can bring ease to you with just with their existence. Just the fact that they're there, and they're who they are, and And the way you can interact with them, it's just they're a gift. And the more you can surround yourself with that kind of experience, the more beautiful the experience gets. And although there's pain, still dealing with loss, still dealing with fear, uncertainty, because that doesn't go away, that never goes away. Wishing to do right, to do good, to do better, to challenge yourself and to leave a positive impact. To give back, to grow, to everything. There's always pain and suffering associated with life, but the people that you surround yourself with and the people that you love and that love you back, they make the hard days seem bright. They can do everything by doing nothing. And just their presence is enough to just want to stay alive. People are beautiful. Relationships are priceless. Life is wonderful and terrible. Possibilities are endless. Desires are flickery. Best word I got. Right and wrong have never been further apart. There's never been more gray area than before. I want a beautiful existence. I want to share beauty and create beauty and be beauty. And no matter how hard it gets, knowing that the ride is always worth it. The ride is always worth it.